Parrot Shop. It's about a shop on Danforth, sells parrot supplies. Danforth Parrot Shop isn't the name of the shop, it's just the name of the song. That's why I call the song the Danforth Parrot Shop. You can get anything you want at the Danforth Parrot Shop. You can get anything you want at the Danforth Parrot Shop. Well, just around the corner, about a mile away. You can take an Uber if you're willing to pay. You can get anything you want at the Danforth Parrot Shop. This all started one evening last fall around Thanksgiving. I was looking out my front window and happened to see, looking back at me, a parrot sitting there on the railing of my front porch. I thought my eyes must be deceiving me. I went over to the door, took another look, and sure enough, there's a parrot. I don't know what a parrot would be doing outside my front door on a cold November night, so I opened up the door and I asked him if he'd like to come inside and get warm and maybe get a bite to eat. Sure, he said. He hopped into my hand and came inside. Two problems immediately presented themselves. One was that I had no idea what to feed a parrot, and the second was that I have cats. So, I did the logical thing. I threw the parrot into my office, closed the door, ran into the kitchen, grabbed some cat treats, found the cats, lured them upstairs using the treats as bait, locked them into the bedroom with a copious number of treats, ran back downstairs, let the parrot out of the office, asked him what he wanted to eat. Looked at me, didn't say anything. My telepathic powers were on the fritz again, so rather than guess, I decided that I'd head down to the local pet store and pick up the correct food for him. It also occurred to me that I can't keep the cats locked up in the bedroom forever, and I need a safe place to keep the parrot until I can find a home for him. So, I found the local parrot shop, and yeah, they were open, but they would be closing in 15 minutes. No problem, I could get there in 15 minutes, it's only a mile away if I walk, but I didn't want to walk, so I decided to call an Uber. I called the Uber and waited. And waited. And waited. Finally shows up, we rush to the pet store. We get there just as I'm about to get inside. The clerk is standing at the door and he takes the sign that says open and he turns it around so it says closed. And he looks at me and laughs. I tell him, it's an emergency. What kind of emergency, kid? Luckily, I'd had the foresight to bring my guitar with me and proceeded to sing him the song that I had written on the Uber ride on the way there, called The Ballad of Charlie the Parrot. That's not what the song was called back then because I hadn't yet learned his name on account of my telepathic powers not working. That's what I call the song now. Back then the song was called Working Title. Anyway, I sang of Charlie's tale of woe, about his appearance on my front doorstep, about having to protect him from the cats, about having to rush over to the pet store to get him food and other supplies, about arriving too late and having to sing the ballad of Charlie the Parrot to the clerk in order to soften his cold heart and allow me inside the store to get the necessary supplies. I improvised that last little bit. Well, the song worked and the clerk's heart was softened and he allowed me inside. He said, "Kid, you got 5 minutes. What do you need?" Apparently he had not been paying attention to my 18-minute ballad, so I explained again that I need food and other supplies for my parrot. "Okay, kid, what kind of parrot you got?" "We got supplies for bunchies, lorries, parakeets, macaws, parrots, lovebirds, cockatiels, cockatoos, and cacas. What kind you got?" Now, about this time, it occurred to me that maybe my time in the Uber would have been better spent researching what kind of parrot I had found rather than composing a song about him. And not being a parrot expert, I gave him the best answer I could. Green, mostly? "No problem, kid," he said, and he proceeded to take me to the back of the store where they had various and sundry parrot supplies, accessories, and paraphernalia, and he loaded me up with everything he told me that I would need to keep this parrot alive for more than 3 hours. It was a hefty bill. Went home with my purchase, showed it to the bird, who appreciated it very much and decided that he would make this home his new home. I told him that wasn't going to fly unless we worked out some sort of arrangement where he could earn his keep, at which point he suggested that he become my new lab assistant. My telepathic powers are working again. So that's how Charlie became Igor, but that's another story for another song for another day. Don't forget, if you're in Toronto and happen to have a parrot emergency, the Danforth Parrot Shop is there to sell you stuff that you don't need anytime, day or night, before 8 p.m. You can get anything you want at the Danforth Parrot Shop. You can get anything you want at the Danforth Parrot Shop. Well, just around the corner, about a mile away. You can take an Uber if you're willing to pay, or you can get anything you want at the Danforth Parrot Shop. Well, except parrots.